Hey YouTube, welcome back to UniXTCG, and we are back with another Dragon Ball Super Fusion World video. Now, the poll from before I went to net still stands strong, showing that you guys want Yellow Broly from FB08 Sans Pride to be the second archetype that I deep dive into, and so here we are. It is a fan favorite character, but the effect has a lot of people scratching their heads and wondering if it'll truly be a mainstay in the new meta, or it'll just be scuttled for its pieces. So we're gonna jump in and we're gonna find out, and I hope you guys enjoy the ride. So let's break down Yellow Broly. Alrighty then, so just want to say real quick, thank you guys for all the support you gave to my top 32, Nationals top 32 Orange Piccolo deck profile and breakdown. I really do appreciate you guys coming in there, leaving the comments, liking the video, and just showing your support in general. I want to say that if you want this video to thrive, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already so you never miss a bit of my Fusion World content, and yeah, if you want to go the extra mile, you can always join that membership too. Just 99 cents a month for you, but it all adds up to me, helps me get closer and closer to that full-time mark and be able to put out bigger and better content. So that out of the way, let's talk about the leader, and the leader here is going to be Broly. You got the when attacking, draw one card, and then awaken. He basically awakens at 3 life, right? And that's an activate main / battle, but when you're at 3 life or less, you draw a card and then you flip this card over. Now, you guys can see that 3 life, that normally indicates that we're getting a special leader on the back, and special he is indeed. Awakening, we have the first 25k leader in yellow, and he has a permanent. If you have a battle card with a cost of 5 or more in sand and special traits in the battle area, you can your opponent can't attack with a battle card unless they switch one of their active mode cards to rest mode. This is an important floodgate, but it has its pros and cons, and we'll talk about that. And then you have the activate main once per turn. If you have a battle card with cost 4 or more that includes Broly in its card name in your battle area, switch one of your energy to active mode. This is going to be pretty cool, and yeah, we have quite a lot we can do here. So the first part I need to talk about to make the most sense is the floodgate. And when it comes to the floodgate, we really are at this weird space where, like, your opponent will have to rest something that they have as active. This can be their leader, this can be another battle card, this can be energy, and that's pretty cool, right? But the real thing that this is going to allow you to do is keep your opponent off curve. If your opponent charges to 5 and plays a 5 cost card, the only way they can attack with it is if they already have another battle card that's there to be turned to rest mode, or if they rest mode their leader, denying them a free swing and a draw because the leader is not affected by this floodgate. So you start limiting your opponent's plays. Now, the part where this gets a little tricky is if your opponent is going wide, or they have a cantrip. Like, this is playing below curve, so there is a disadvantage to doing this. But if your opponent is on 5 energy and they play a 4 cost body and a cantrip or a searcher, they can attack with that body and then just rest the cantrip. And that's going to allow them to still pretty much play and get their stuff off. But the later in the game you go, the less effective this can be if you're only playing 1 to 2 good cards a turn, or your opponent's only playing 1 to 2 good cards a turn, because they can always just rest something like a searcher or a cantrip, or the card they know is not going to get past a 25k leader. Because you're a 25k leader, less and less cards can actually go neutral with your leader, meaning you might have a card or two to always put to rest mode to do that. Now, later in the game, you also have cards that prevent your opponent's cards from going to active mode, which can really hamper their ability to do so. There's a lot of back and forth, and it's going to be really hard to tell how this leader works until we start testing him, whether it be on tabletop, untap, or in person with proxies, or just with the set when it comes out in, I don't know, 24 hours. So that's going to be a pretty cool thing we have here. Now, the activate main once per turn that allows you to set a energy to active mode is going to allow you to keep defensive energy up, which is great because this game has a huge problem with playing on curve and not being able to leave that energy up without putting you at a supreme disadvantage unless your leader constantly does it for you. Cough cough, SSB Vegeta from set 2. Now, so this is going to be a pretty cool thing. I will say that the weirdest part about this is since you can put any card to rest mode, in order to appease this floodgate effect, you are going to be able to you know, at 6-7 energy, if your opponent keeps charging at the beginning of the turn, they're going to have more and more leeway to play around this floodgate. You play out a body for 5, but you have 7 energy. You can attack with it and just rest energy you weren't going to use regardless. That is going to be a thing, and so once again, it's going to be very hard to appraise this leader before we see it in action and the format shape around him. But that being said, we do have to talk about his enablers. The first and primary enabler is going to be the big bad of the set, which is going to be the Broly SER. A 6-cost 40k body. On play, choose all rest mode battle cards in your opponent's battle area, and they can't switch to active mode until the end of your opponent's turn. Then choose your opponent's rest mode leader, and it can't attack until the end of your opponent's turn. This is going to be a pretty big card in the deck, if I don't say so myself. You have him enabling both halves of your leader effect, setting up the floodgate, as well as just making sure that you can put one of your energy to active mode. On top of that, locking down your opponent's free swing per turn, i.e. their leader, is going to be a huge boon. It also denies them of a draw, and then on top of that, anything they turn sideways the previous turn cannot go to active during the start of their turn. So this is going to be a massive boss, and playing him back to back to back to back is surely going to win games alone. I do think this is pretty much going to be the saving grace of the deck, no matter how you look at it. Now, some of you guys may wonder, you know, this is a 6 cost. So until you get to 5 energy in the marker, or just 6 hard energy, how do you even go about landing your leader effect? Well, you do have this Broly right here. I have mixed feelings about this card, but it is a 1-cost 10k power, 5k combo power permanent. If your leader is Broly, increase the cost of this rest mode card in your battle area by 4, and then activate main, switch this card in the battle area for rest mode, draw a card, and discard a card from your hand. This is a filter. It is filtering in the correct way of drawing, so you get to check your worst card and then you put it into the drop. This is pretty cool. However, it is switching itself to rest mode. You can't protect it with things like time rewound. It's going to turn off its +4 cost, and then this gets attacked on by pretty much anything. The leader puts mad pressure on, especially if awakened. I think this card is never really going to stick. It's just going to draw out the first attack, and generally if that attack is a leader card, this card's going bye-bye, and if this is the only card between you and not having your floodgate out, just prepare not to have your floodgate out. So the next card we have here is a hard enabler, and this is going to be the Broly promo. This is going to be a must-have for the deck. 5 cost, 30k combo power, 5k combo power, or sorry, 30k power, 5k combo power, and then on play / when attacking, if your leader is Broly and you have a Paragus in your drop, draw 1 card. Now, this is cool because on the turn it's played, it's a +1. You're going to play a body, you're going to draw a card, you're going to get a forward press swing of 30k power, and then you're going to draw another card. Every single turn that this card exists on the board, your opponent is going to lose cards out of their hand from comboing, and you're going to gain a card. This is a crazy simplistic but crazy powerful card for this deck, enabling both ends of your leader while keeping your hand as healthy as possible. And if you can just play a second one, like every turn your opponent does not respond to this card is an L. And that's just bad. That's just bad. So this is a great card. Put it in your deck. Get 4 of them from your local game store, and then just keep Brolying out if you just want to Broly out. If Brolying out is your task, this card will help you Broly out. Now the next card is a little bit of a dig to the past. It's going to be Bio Broly. Because the leader asks you for a cost 5 or more sand, but also ask for, on the second part of your effect, a card that has 4 or more cost in Broly in its name. This is perfect because you're going to tap 5, you're going to play this 35k out, you're going to be able to draw 1 to replace himself, and then you're going to switch 2 of your energy to active mode, and then your leader skill will allow you to turn 1 more of your energy to active mode, essentially giving you almost over half of the energy back as a refund. This is great. This allows you to make more plays. This allows you to have a lot of forward momentum, and because he replaces himself, is not bad at all. The only downside about this card is that it has 0k combo, but on top of that, it is a 35k swing. You're going to be able to go pretty high over somebody's head. In the mirror, this is going to go 10 over neutral, which is great. And yeah, this is just a great card to play and enable both ends of your leader. Now, here's another enabler that goes in the deck. This is a 5 cost Raditz, 30k power, 10k combo power. On play, choose up to 1 battle card in your opponent's battle area, switch to rest mode. That's any card. That could be a good blocker. That could just be anything you want to pop with this next effect. And then when attacking, choose up to 1 rest mode battle card with a cost of 3 or less in your opponent's battle area, KO it. Excellent. Don't at me. I think this is a fine card, especially because of that 10k combo power, and it gets rid of a lot of pesky cards that your opponent could just be trying to go wide with. Now here's actually an enabler that might be less expected, but this is the 5 cost SR from the Daima Vegeta starter deck, and this is a 5 cost 30k power, 0k combo power card that just says activate main once per turn, choose up to 1 rest mode battle card at the cost of 4 or less in your opponent's battle area and KO it. Then switch this card in the battle area to active mode. This is actually very, very, very cool because it's going to have removal tethered along to it. There's a lot of cards in this deck that rest things, and then people are naturally going to go sideways just trying to deal damage. So being able to pop something that's a cost 4 or less and then still have your floodgate active, it doesn't activate the second half of your leader, but it is an option for removal and keeping your floodgate up. So I approve of this card. Now going over here, we do have a kind of conditional enabler, and this is going to be another promo Broly. This Broly is a 4 cost 25,000 power 10k combo power card. This is permanent. Add 1 to the cost of this rest mode card in the battle area, so as long as it's turned sideways, it's a 5, enabling both halves of your leader. And then permanent, if your leader is Broly and you have 1 or more active energy, right? Active mode energy, this card in a battle area gains plus 10k power, making it potentially a 35k attacker and 35k on the defense. And this is actually really, really cool. 4 cost is not really the most resilient cost line for removal, but 35k is definitely a start when it comes to people attacking it or minusing it. I think 35k is going to keep it safe from most attacks, and that's going to be pretty cool. But yeah, 10k combo power, it's a Broly, it's searchable. These are all the things we'd like to hear. Now, another thing that a lot of people are going to point out is that the leader does not draw once awakened. This can be disastrous if you get flipped over too early, but we do have a fair amount of draw in the deck to sustain. This is going to be a filter card, this Paragus right here, 2 cost, 5k power, 10k combo power. Activate meme once per turn, switch your leader or 1 card in your battle area, both including Broly in their card names, to rest mode, draw a card. This is going to be kind of crappy on your front side. You never really want it because your front side is going to swing and then just draw a card to begin with. But on your on the awakened side, where you don't draw, sometimes you do just want to sacrifice that 20k or a 25k swing in an attempt to draw 1 extra card. And this guy being able to do that and being a 10k combo is excellent. So I do think that being a 2 cost 10k combo, he does or 2 cost, he does avoid some of the 1 cost removal, but being a 5k makes him dead in the water versus red. It is what it is, but it is pretty cool because there are cards later that require a Paragus to be in the drop. Now, this next card, right, is going to be a this card is going to be a blast from the past. Sorry, it took me a little bit, almost messed up my folder. This card is a little bit of another blast from the past, but it's another Bio Broly, and I think this guy actually hits the mark on every single avenue. He's a 3 cost, so you can play him on curve. He's a 20k body, and then on top of that, 10k combo power, so he's never dead in hand. And then when attacking, if you have 2 or more active mode energy, draw a card. This is going to help you build a healthy hand, and he's going to be fairly easy to protect when your opponent has limited attacks as well. So, you know, you can do it your turn 1, you can play out your turn 2. On your turn 3, you play this guy out, you don't attack with him. If he survives 1 turn, you go into your turn 4, you start attacking with this guy. You know, it really just goes from there. And then every turn that this guy's on board, once again, just like the promo Broly, you're getting a draw if he's the first attacker of your turn. Depending on how things go and what you play, he can still not be the first attacker of the turn, but because you're, you know, putting an energy to active mode just by using your Brolys, he's going to be good to go. So I think this is a very, very cool card, and I feel like he fits and just is dead nowhere. Now, returning back to the promo, you do have this promo that on play / when attacking, if your leader is Broly and you have a Paragus in your drop, draw 1 card. You're gonna really keep your hand healthy, in combination with the fact that you can curve Bio Broly and then 2 turns later curve into Broly, this Broly. I think that this deck can actually have some disgusting hands as long as its board tempo maintains in good standing. Then you have the Bio Broly that we talked about earlier as well, replacing himself, untapping, or putting a bunch of energy to rest or to active mode, just so you can extend your plays. This deck is not as dead in the water as many people think. And then the last card when it comes to adding cards to hand that we're going to talk about right now is going to be Kakarot. Kakarot's just a 1-drop, 2-power, 5k combo power searcher, and on play you look at the top 3 cards of your deck, reveal up to 1 Paragus or up to 1 card that includes Broly and its card name added to your hand. So this can add Brolys, this can add Bio Brolys, this can add your super combo, which this set is a Broly, so valid top 3 searcher. And now we're going over to more of the utility cards. You have the Paragus Filter. This is a just 1-cost 10k power, 10k combo power card. Activate main, switch this card in the battle area to rest mode. Choose up to 1 battle card in your opponent's battle area, switch it to rest mode. Sorry, this is not a filter at all. I don't really like this. You're switching a card to rest mode. You're switching this card to rest mode, switching an opponent's card to rest mode. You're not doing anything with that rest mode. Sure, you can lock it down if you're later in the game, but I just think this is a card that's doing nothing to do nothing, and don't really like it that much. Then you've got this Broly locker. This is actually pretty cool. It's a 4-cost, 30k power, 0 combo power, which is kind of rough considering that our previous locker, the Goku, has the same cost, 5k less power, but 10k combo power, and can lock 2 things. But this Broly is gonna say on play, switch up to 1 of your energy to active mode, and then when attacking, choose 1 rest mode battle card in your opponent's battle area. It can't switch to active mode during your opponent's next turn. So when it locks 1, it has 0 combo power, but it's going to just put 1 of your energy to active mode, and then your leader should, if he's awakened, switch another energy to active mode, allowing you to have defensive capabilities or to extend your play. So I do think he has a place in the deck. It's just that 0 combo power does kind of make me a little worried. Now, speaking of crazy support, we've got Paragus here. He's an SR. He's 1-cost, 5k power, 5k combo power. On play, if your leader is Broly, choose up to 1 Broly in your battle area. Until the end of your opponent's next turn, it can't be removed from the battle area with your opponent's skills, and you add 1 cost to it. This is going to allow certain Brolys to go over the 5-cost threshold, allowing them to activate 2 parts of your leader, both parts of your leader. It's also going to make it incredibly hard to get rid of some of these Brolys. 30ks, they have to be attacked over. This 40ks, this is going to make 40k Broly almost impossible to get off the board the turn you play this. So this is going to be a really, really crazy, and I think just a really, really swell card in general that really puts the deck into a different level of sticky. So yeah, what do you think about Broly so far? I think a lot of you guys are probably hyped, but if you haven't already, let me show you guys the best place you can possibly find FB08 Sans Pride, and that's going to be with my sponsor, Hyper Beam Cards. They have the best online market for these sealed products I've ever seen. They ship all over the US as well as Mexico because they are based in Tijuana and have access to both, and they are really, really good on their prices, which are in pesos, so you have to do the translation. But once you do that, you'll see that they have great prices for their boxes, for their cases, a great pre-order system, and on top of that, they are speedy on the shipping. If you have any questions, you can always go to their Facebook, message them directly, but make sure you know, or let them know at least, that UniXTCG sent you. I love them. They have been so great at keeping me well stocked on all of the cards for this game, and I want to spread that sort of love and just accessibility to all of you. So yeah, go over, visit them. Their links are in the description. Just check them out. They're great. Hyper Beam Cards, guys. And then past that, I want to let you guys know that we are doing the most over here on Universe X. We are doing a full push on all of our platforms. So make sure you like this video, subscribe if you haven't before, check out the membership if you want to support me on a deeper level while I come up with good ways to reward everybody for paying that 99 cents a month. And then past that, I also have my Twitch as well as my Twitter that I need to get over 1,000 followers. So if you want to go down in the description, check out those links, get them over that. That will be much appreciated. It will open up my sponsorship routes. And then I also have my second channel, Universe X Media, where I do anything nerdy that I cannot do on this channel. Check it out. We're growing over here in Universe X, and I want to be a multi-platform content creator that you know and love. So thank you guys for that, and let's get back to the content. Now, going from that amazing support, we have some less amazing support, but still actually pretty decent. This is going to be a Broly. It's a 4-cost Broly with 25k power, 10k combo power, activate main once per turn 1. If your leader is Broly, choose up to 1 battle card in your opponent's battle area, switch it to rest mode. Then this card in the battle area gains plus 15k power for the turn. So what you're really looking at is a five cost card if you are playing it and its effect on curve. But this is cool because you turn something to rest mode. Could be a blocker you just don't want to touch. Very, very relevant in a matchup like Orange Piccolo, where you just want to get that blocker out of the way if they're playing it, which I think is a pretty good tech, honestly. And then you go up to a 40k, which is going to push a lot of cards out of somebody's hand. This is actually pretty cool. So it's not the best, but it is a 10k combo power card that you can search out. So I'm never gonna say it's awful. We'll just have to see if it makes the cut for this deck list. And then we have this card that's kind of loosely attributed with the deck, but I'm not quite sure how I feel about it. This is Vegeta Youth. It is a 3 cost 25k power card, 0k combo power, which does kind of hurt in the deck where your draw is kind of circumstantial. And then you have on play / when attacking, choose up to 1 battle card with the cost of 4 less in your opponent's battle area, switch it to rest mode, and then activate main once per turn. If you have a battle card with cost 5 or more in sand and special traits in your battle area, switch this card in the battle area to active mode. There is, I believe, a Nappa that cheats this card out that is a 5 cost, but you're running these useless cards to kind of play out more useless cards. Resting something and not locking it, not popping it, does kind of feel a little slow nowadays because you need another card to have some sort of interaction with it to keep it off the board. Otherwise, you're just resting things, and what happens? They, put them to active mode the following turn, start attacking you. So I don't really see you playing out this card and doing its thing, and then playing the secret rare. And I think that if you're playing this on curve, there are too many turns for the secret between this and the secret rare for you not to get rid of this card. And then if you are playing out a Nappa into this card and then turning into a secret next turn, there still is a whole turn to get rid of this card, but I think that you're playing one of the less effective cards in the game when it comes to what you could be doing on your turn 5. Like, I don't know, the promo. So that's just me personally. Speaking of Vegeta, though, we do have another Vegeta. This is a 3 cost 25k, 0k combo power, which again, kind of hurts. Activate main once per turn, KO 1 battle card in your battle area. If your leader is Broly, choose up to 1 of your energy, or set 1 of your energy active mode, then choose up to 1 battle card in your opponent's battle area, switch to rest mode. Once again, we're resting things, we're not doing anything with it. You can play that Nappa to play out this Vegeta, I believe, and then you can sacrifice the Vegeta. It's very thematic. However, I don't think it's very pragmatic. That's just my take on it. Now we have this blocker Moa, 1 cost, 5k power, 10k combo power blocker. Okay, but you're seeing all these cards that rest. Red has so much minus 5k. Blue's gonna bottom deck this. Black is probably gonna sneeze on this and it's gonna go away. The only color that's really not working against this deck or working against this card is gonna be green. But I think green's endgame right now because of Piccolo Superhero is just probably stronger than this in general. So I think that may be an issue. Next, we do have this King Vegeta blocker, which is a little bit better. A 3 cost, 10k power, 10k power, 10k combo power blocker that has a permanent that says if you meet the Broly conditions, have a 5 cost or more sand in your battle area, you reduce the cost of this card in your hand by 2, allowing you to just play this out for 1. Now a 1 cost that turns into a 3 cost on board with 10k power, 10k combo power. A little harder to remove, and your opponent generally is going to have to split their value if they're trying to get this off the field while getting other things off the field. So I think this is going to be cool, but even so, with 10k combo power or 10k power, this can get a little dubious. Like Cell can do the 4 cost and immediately get rid of this guy, so I kind of feel a little weird about it. You have to be an exceptional blocker in this game to be a good blocker. Then we got the Broly super combo, which is going to be just essentially good because you can search it out with the Kakarot. Searchable super combos are always preferable to non-searchable super combos, you know what I mean? And then the next card we have here is Immense Latent Power, which is going to be a 0 cost card that says activate battle your turn if your leader is Broly and you have a battle card with 5 cost or more and sand special traits in your battle area. This card gains an extra, or your card that's in battle gains 15k for the battle. Now, I don't really like only your turns, because they're not flexible. You can't use them on defense and offense. However, being a your turn, knowing that you can only use this on your turn, at least you know you'll always have the Broly if you're playing this. But I just can't imagine running a card that's dead for the first 3 turns minimum of your game. Turn 4 sometimes, especially if you have something that goes up by 1 when it's rested, or maybe you have the Paragus on board, or you can play the Paragus with the coin out. You will have the ability to use this in turn 4, but I just feel like in most cases you want to either save the coin or you're not really at a point where you're pressing for this much damage on top of a 4-drop. So I just don't really see the use of this card. I think it's just pretty bad and circumstantial. Then you have Demon Resurrection. Demon Resurrection is a little less circumstantial, but you still have to have an appropriate Broly on board. It's a 3-cost extra. It says activate main. If your leader is Broly, choose up to 1 battle card that includes Broly in its name in the battle area, and you switch it to active mode. Depending on what you do, Bio Broly can get a second draw, but more importantly, the promo will always get a second draw being used off of this. I do think this is a little circumstantial, because how bad are you going to feel if you only have the energy to play out a Broly card and it's just sitting in your hand, you didn't charge it, or you draw it off your leader swing and it's dead. I think this card is just kind of win more, and I don't like it. And then moving over though, speaking of a card I do like, because you're often able to play out a Broly and then immediately put one of your energy to active mode, I think there are 2 cards that really do well when it comes to that. And the first of them are Results of Training. This is a card from the Daima Vegeta starter deck, again, second time in this video, but it's a 1-cost activate battle. Your cards that are in battle gain plus 15k power for the battle. Then if there's a rest mode battle card with a cost of 3 or more in the battle area, draw 1 card. I think this is going to be very important to keeping your hand healthy while defending, because if you played a card on curve that allows you to untap or put an energy to active mode, then you have the energy up to play Results of Training, and you have the body on board to play Results of Training and get the draw. So this is always going to be live if you're playing Brolys, and those Brolys will always be big enough to proc this on top of the card that's attacking that force uses. So I think this is great, because you play a card, you get out of an attack, this puts your leader up to 40k, which is a great number, and on top of putting your leader up to 40k, which, mind you, 10k over is generally the place you want to be when you attack, but if your opponent attacks you for 35 and you Results of Training and you just go up to 40 and you draw a card to replace it, that just feels so free. So that's great. This is a great card for the deck. I'm calling it now. Another good card for the deck will be Time Rewound, because you'll be able to boost up something by 20k and then put it to active mode, potentially taking something out of range to be attacked on and then putting it out. You play out your promo Broly and they attack over it. It's a 5-cost, maybe they can't get rid of it like that. It's a 30k, they attack over it for 40, you activate Time Rewound, go up to 50, and then put it up. Just, no, you can't touch it unless you're touching it through effect. And sometimes if you've played the Paragus out and you've hit it with that, they can't do anything but attack into it. So once you put it up to active mode with Time Rewound, there's nothing they can do. So I think that this is actually a pretty cool card in the deck, but I do think that Results of Training is better, because it's going to cantrip in a deck where you're not drawing off your leader effect or your leader ability. But I think this is actually pretty cool. Then another card that's going to be pretty nice is going to be Fierce Hyper Beam. Fierce Hyper Beam is just activate main, draw 1 card, and then you choose up to 1 rest mode battle card in your opponent's battle area. It can't switch to active mode during your opponent's turn. There's a lot of cards in this deck that do rest cards, and this card is going to pin something down and you're going to draw from it. Yes, you could be using Energy Absorption, but Energy Absorption has a little caveat to its draw with the 4-cost or more, and I think that the reason that really tips this one over the edge for me is because you have the card we're going to talk about next, which is Lord Jaguar. And Lord Jaguar is a 1-cost 5k 10k combo power card. Activate main, switch this card in the battle area to rest mode, add up to 1 non-Lord Jaguar card with a cost of 3 or less and Jaguar's Island and special traits from your drop to your hand. And the cool thing about this is that you're going to be able to make a little package between Lord Jaguar, Fierce Hyper Beam, and the 3-cost Bio Broly, and this is going to be able to get back either one of those for draws, for stuns, for combo power, and I think this is going to be great. I think this is going to be a little package that fits right into this deck, and it'll be pretty cool. And then the last card we have here is the cheeky one, is the cringer, but it is going to be Energy Blast Volley. I do foresee sometimes where your opponent may go, oh, he's going to get to his Broly next turn. I don't want to put anything sideways because I want him to play his Broly and not have anything to freeze, or I want him to play his Broly knowing, or think about his next turn and maybe not play Broly because he knows that there's nothing to freeze. But when it comes to Energy Blast Volley, especially if you're above curve, you can just play Energy Blast Volley, rest all of their battle cards anyway, and then tap 6 and play that Broly out. Your opponent just cries because they wasted an entire turn of momentum. You rested their entire board and then played the guy that's gonna stun it. So I think that this is pretty cool. But yeah, these are the texts that came to my mind. These are the cards I was going through the archetype and being like, okay, this works, this makes sense. And yeah, so there it is. That is my breakdown of the Broly archetype. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Looking at the poll, right, I do believe the next one to drop should be Caulifla. Let me double check that real quick. Let me double check that. I am going over here. I am going to see about my post. So the next one that I have is going to be Yes, blue Caulifla by a couple percentage. Then it'll be green Turles, and then it'll be Gohan. I'm gonna try to get these out fast because the pack comes out tomorrow, and you guys should already be getting your hands on boxes if you have some, you know, late night openings too, if your store does that. But I am going to get all these out of the way, and I hope you guys enjoy them. Thank you guys for being here. Like I said, remember to like the video if you like the video. Subscribe if you don't want to miss a bit of my Fusion World content. Check out the membership if you want to support me even further than that. And then just go in the description, check out the links for my sponsor, Hyperbeam Cards, my second channel, my Twitter, my Twitch. We are trying to grow going into 2026, and we're trying to just blow past. This year we got 10K subscribers. Let's make it 20K next year. Let's actually prop Fusion World up to be a great game. I've got a lot of just different things that I have in the works. I'm going to be trying to reach out to some other content creators. We're really going to make this live. So thank you guys for being here, and I will see you in the next video. Later.